And you did respond to my comment. You entered the danger zone. You brought this upon yourself by putting stuff on the internet. You remember that. Yo. So I always think context is everything. You have to know what you're talking about before you talk about it. I brought this up in a video the other day. I won't address something unless I think I have a pretty good understanding of it. And it keeps my ass in check. Keeps me from looking like a freaking idiot. And if I look like a freaking idiot, I want to talk about that too. But there was an individual that I stumbled upon on the Instagram, and I'm ready to rock. I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to go face to face with this person because, as Vin Diesel put it so eloquently, you don't fuck with family. Family. You guys might not think that I like CrossFit. I'm just the guy who hates CrossFit all the time. However, look around. I know where I came from. I don't hate CrossFit in the slightest. It's actually the exact opposite. I fucking love CrossFit. What does this look like? Mini CrossFit gym. What am I wearing? A freaking shirt from a company that was forged in CrossFit. How do I train everybody that I work with CrossFit? What do I do to work out? It's all CrossFit. A little bit of bodybuilding, a lot of bit of CrossFit. Now, this person stumbled across this thing that they just saw that CrossFit put out, and I can't do any better than to just start playing it and interject a lot. Let's rock.
CrossFit just released its summary of fitness in 100 words.
3 seconds into the video and you already know that this person doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. October 1st, 2002. Greg Glassman. You probably don't even know who Greg Glassman is. You know what? You're going to say, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about because he doesn't think I know who Greg Glassman is. I know that he's that guy. Said a whole bunch of racist crap on the internet. Well, how about everything else that has to do with Greg Glassman? You probably don't know anything about anything. Well, let's keep going.
And it might be one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever read coming from a major player in the fitness space.
Look, I know you said red, but you're also trying to compete with dumb things like this.
You'd rather look like this or like that, like this or like that. Now you can look like this with the revolutionary VibroBelt professional toning system.
And this.
Called dynamic inertia that simultaneously target and engage your biceps and triceps. It's the power of 240 muscle contractions per minute. In fact, if you had the shake weight in your hands right now, you'd feel the results before the end of this commercial.
But yeah, CrossFit sucks, huh?
First of all, reading no sugar immediately after fruit and starch is hilarious because fruit and starch are literal sources of sugar.
Congratulations, Finley. You can read a sentence and take it entirely literally. That's very good for you. Now, how about you look a layer deeper and you understand what this is meant for? This is meant for the people who are getting up off of the couch, and it's also meant that you should be eating fruits and vegetables and you should be avoiding added sugar. You would know that if you read any CrossFit documentation anywhere ever. Added sugar, like the shit that Matt Frazier liked to talk about in the Joe Rogan stuff. The stuff for the elite of the elite. This is not targeted at the games level athletes. This is not targeted at, I don't know who the hell you think it's targeted at, but it's targeted at your average everyday person who shouldn't be throwing down ice cream and cookies and shit like that. That's what no sugar means. And I guess I can see where this would come from with somebody looking at this. Now you tell me, if you're somebody who's obese, would you tell them to not eat sugar? Or would you say, go ahead and eat sugar?
This also just promotes that all or nothing mindset that tends to be pretty counterproductive in a sustainable approach to nutrition.
I know this is going to come off as extremely aggressive, but one, you seem soft as shit, and two, from what I know, when you are an alcoholic, you need to completely avoid alcohol. If you have any of it, you're going to likely dive right back in because you like the feeling of it. And from also what I know, sugar is one of the most addictive substances on the planet. So when you read something like no sugar, it's because you are trying to keep yourself at a certain level of self. And every time you have sugar, it spikes up your blood sugar levels, and you like that, and you get a big burst of energy, but then there's also the come down. So what do? You give more sugar, and before you know it, your palate's entirely messed up. So is it unsustainable, or do you just have no willpower? And that's also what you expect your clientele to have, zero willpower, huh?
All right, I'm on board with practicing and training major lifts, but I'm not on board with mastering gymnastics.
Quick look at the profile of, what's her fucking name? Finley Funsten. Quick look at Finley Funsten's profile, and you'll see that she doesn't have any sort of mastering of the lifts. It appears as if everything that they do is with these big-ass fake kettlebells. They look like they should weigh about 97 pounds a piece, but they probably weigh 25 pounds a piece, and it's just, that would be fun too. It's like, no, they're actually as heavy as they're supposed to look, because then I can make an entire another video on the fact that they're not as heavy as they say they are.
For those of you looking to just improve fitness and get stronger and be healthier, I promise you don't need to be able to master handstands, flips, and splits.
If Finley Funsten was walking down the road, I want to know who she thinks would be classified as a fit individual, because in my mind, somebody who can do push-ups, sit-ups, squats, control their body in space, maybe do a handstand if they've worked their way into that, would be a much fitter individual than somebody who can, say run a 12-minute mile, a 10-minute mile, move some kettlebells around, because when you can control your body in space, you give yourself the opportunity to do a whole bunch of other things. But this is not something that she's read in the What is Fitness article. All she's doing is thinking about front flips, back flips, and doing things on the still rings, but she's not thinking about body control, which is really what gymnastics is when you think about CrossFit. Moving your own body around in space. I bet your burpees don't touch the ground either.
Hard and fast, 5 to 6 times per week. That is a shit ton of volume for anyone just looking to improve fitness.
Huh? See, this one I can't really wrap my head around, because she says volume. And when I think volume, I think Murph. And when I think doing too much volume, I think doing Murph every single day, 7 days a week, 2 miles of running, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats every single day. That's a shitload of volume. Hard and fast. I think about Fran, 21:15:9. As quick as 2 minutes. Some people take upwards of 10 to 12 minutes, but you're doing 45 pull-ups and 45 thrusters. A squat into a press, Finley, just so you know. If you follow the standard CrossFit programming, you know that you will do just that. And before that, you'll do a whole bunch of warm-up, a whole bunch of priming, a whole bunch of understanding of what it is that you're going to be doing. A whole lot of people won't be able to do the pull-ups or the prescribed weight on Fran, so maybe they'll do barbell thrusters, 45-pound squat into a push press. And a lot of people can't do the pull-ups, so maybe they'll do ring rows. So you're telling me that if 5 days a week you were to do some iteration of 45 reps per very, very realistic movement, like ring rows and barbell thrusters, that it is a shitload of volume. I could take somebody off of the road and I could put them through 6 workouts a week, and at the end of the week they're going to be like, okay, that was good. It will be progressive, and in that individual's head it'll be hard and fast because they haven't done anything. But again, you don't know who this is marketed towards. This might be the worst part of the whole fucking video, because clearly she has no idea what she's talking about.
Unless you are a competitive athlete, training 5 to 6 times per week at max intensity is a recipe for overtraining, overuse injuries, and burnout.
It's amazing. I put up the video just yesterday about the Arnold Schwarzenegger Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding, saying that you should be able to train 6 days a week. And albeit it was bodybuilding training, it was the first time where I had ever read that there isn't this huge, worrisome, overreaching umbrella of overtraining that you have to worry about. And I'm coming from the realm where I've done upwards of 16 sessions a week, which is more than 2 sessions a day. Finley, Andrew, your perception's all skewed. And it's like, all right, well, what about the hundreds, if not thousands of people that I saw wander into my CrossFit affiliate and do the CrossFit programming that I would have every single day of the week, and we were closed on Sundays? But you know what? There would be some people who had a key that would come in and do that day too. 7 days a week, every day out of the year. And even then, I would say that they were probably doing more than what CrossFit would prescribe for most people. And they were okay. So if they were okay, everyone else is going to be okay as well. But what you're saying is if you work out 4 or 5 days a week, that it's being too much. It means that more often than not, you should not be moving your body, which sounds terrible to me. I think you should move your body every single day. But what do I know? I'm just the CrossFit idiot.
I'm a gym owner and I don't work out more than 4 times per week.
Wah!
Routine is the enemy. That sounds like some P90X bullshit. When it comes to meeting your fitness goals, routine and consistency will be your very best friend.
I swear to God, it's not planned, but the dude keeps on popping up. His name is Graciano Rubio. He's the Wall Street weightlifter, and just the other day, he put up a post in relation to fitness in 100 words, and he brought up this exact segment, which is that routine is the enemy. He brings up linear progression, and how just doing that little bit, if you have a 1 hour session, if you change up a little bit in that 1 hour, it's going to be different. It is no longer routine. You aren't doing the exact same thing. And if you think about this conceptually, Finley, this is kind of targeted at the people who would wander into the gym. They're 3 3 days a week, and they would stand on the elliptical for an hour, and then they would go home. Now, when you think about the way that Graciano wants to put it, when you're doing that elliptical, maybe every once in a while you throw in that high intensity piece. So you're on there for an hour, and at the 31 minute and 37 second mark, you're going to hit it hard for 5 seconds. And all of a sudden, it's different. Everything's different about the entire back end of that workout and how you anticipated the middle of that workout. And while that's an extreme example, the more common ones are like today, I did a 3x5 banded deadlift at 365 pounds. Last week I did 315 pounds. While they are still 3 sets of 5 deadlifts done the exact same way, with the additional 50 pounds is going to drive adaptation. Routine is now not in my repertoire. It is different. Thanks, Graciano, for again helping me out on another video.
And then keeping all your workouts short and intense.
Now you really lost me, Finley, because I don't know a single type of training modality that would do their fitness regimes intense. Like, who in their right mind thinks that something that's this short would be the best place for anyone to do a workout ever? What is wrong with you?
There's actually a lot of benefit to introducing varying intensities and paces into your training program.
All right, CrossFit, please, for the love of God, do not let me look stupid here. I'm going to pull up your workouts from the past couple of days and show that we do have varying time domains. And here we have box jump push-ups. That one's going to take you about 10 minutes. We got Grace, which could take you anywhere from 1 to 10 minutes. Rest day, good. Okay, we got rest days. Hey, check that out, Finley. Mary, 20 minutes. Okay, cool, 20 minutes. And then we have 4 rounds of an L-sit, which is, an intense gymnastics movement right there with 400-meter run. So that one's going to take, 10 to 15 minutes, depending on who's doing it. We had some deadlifts and some burpees. I'm looking for something long. Give me something long, CrossFit. They have a lot of 20-minute AMRAPs, so here we go. 10 rounds of swim 100 yards and rest 1 minute. That one's going to take a little while, maybe upwards of a half hour. But you see where I'm going with this. We don't just do short and intense. We don't do anything intense. We do things in a box, right? Now, all jokes aside, go check out any of the events at the CrossFit Games. You'll see that there are varying time domains. Go into any CrossFit affiliate. You'll see that actually one of the worst things that's happening at CrossFit affiliates now is everything is like a 45-minute AMRAP of death. And it's so far removed from the short and compact. It's like the 8 to 12 minute time domain, which is awesome, and you see all of the benefit from. That's not all of them, it's some of them. But Finley says that they're bad, and I think that these are bad, and I think what's best is somewhere in the middle most of the time, and you touch the boundaries, the borders, the outskirts, sometimes, which we do, Finley.
Listen, I realize I'll probably get a lot of hate for this video. And I have a lot of respect for the sport of CrossFit.
All right, Finley, the only way I've ever really heard of respect is respect your elders. And when I think of that, I don't think that you're doing any sort of respect when you're thinking of CrossFit here, but I had to Google it, ways to show respect. I want to see if you are on par. Do you indeed respect CrossFit? So I have a list of 13. Let's rattle them off right away. Practice active listening. Look for common ground. Seek to understand others. Show empathy for differences. Serve others. Apologize when you're wrong. Be polite. Show gratitude. Celebrate their achievements. Affirm the other person. Offer support. Keep your promises. And take care of yourself. So you said you respect CrossFit, and then I read this list, and a couple really pop out at me that you are not doing. I understand it's a 1-minute Instagram video, and I understand all about clickbait. However, when I clickbait, and then you watch the content that I put out, usually you're done without a super stupid bitter taste in your mouth. I watched your 1-minute clip, and all I had was bitterness in my soul. You, for sure, didn't do number 3, which was seeking to understand others. You didn't even know that this had been posted in 2002, not the other day when you thought you read it for the first time with the rest of the freaking world. You were not being polite. You showed no empathy, and you have now the opportunity to do a handful of things. You can practice active listening. Although I'm doing it in a brash way, you can practice active listening. You can apologize when you're wrong. You can celebrate their achievements. You can affirm the other person. You can offer support. I have a feeling you might not do any of those things though, because you didn't actually think that you respected CrossFit. But if you do respect CrossFit, this list of 13, you can move forward as a better person and apply some of those things. Maybe.
But defining fitness through these words ain't it.
And while I did that whole bit on respect right there, you don't have to do any sort of apologizing. You don't have to respect CrossFit. But what I want you to do instead is I want you to, in 100 words, come up with what you think fitness is. So at the very least, you can understand that if they're trying to pack it into 100 words in the modern day society that is attention span deficiency, and you got TikToks and people are watching 10-second videos, or they're watching your 1-minute video, which is spewing pure hate at my freaking family, I want you to come out with a 100-word list on what you think is the best way to overall achieve fitness. It's like maybe it's going to say eat sugar, work out for 1 day a week, and use oversized kettlebells, and don't try, never try. 5 times a week of trying is too much trying. Take it easy, take a break. I don't know. What do you want to say? Because you didn't say anything. I skimmed through your Instagram. I didn't really see much of anything other than a handful of TikTok reels. I'm sure people that know you in person, and I'm sure that you are a good person. And I understand that I do very similar things where I'm entirely brash against certain things, but I have a sole purpose of trying to better the CrossFit community. Believe it or not, that's what I'm doing. So if you do want to indeed respect the CrossFit community, you can number 11, offer support. You can number 2, look for common ground. And maybe number 3, seek to understand others rather than just saying, don't do any of those things. And maybe through this video, you'll grab a little bit of understanding. Because I know that all of the people who are indeed CrossFitters will watch this and likely say, yup. And in the meanwhile, you're probably watching this just all mad. Am I mad? I'm not really mad. I'm more mad at your comment section because there's other people who are watching it and thinking certain things about CrossFit without having a full conception of what it is that we've got going on over here. And you did respond to my comment. You entered the danger zone. You brought this upon yourself by putting stuff on the internet. You remember that. It's up to you what you want to do next with the stuff that you put on the internet for the world to see and for me to say what I want to say about it as well while I put my own stuff on the internet. Finley Funsten, it was a good time. Have fun with your big old kettlebells. Let's see what you do next. Andrew Hiller, out.